this case.
Well, he also gets like double heal from Death Pulse too.
Yeah, if Io has taken damage, so he can heal the Io. And
at the same time,
that's true.
It's dubious. I would say I wouldn't say like, it's a bad pick. It's certainly not the foremost like, oh my goodness, Necrophos works so well here. It's certainly not that. He's like somewhere in the middle where I think they have a plan, but I'm not really sure exactly where he fits in. He's not terribly great versus Slark, because Slark is very good about keeping his HP high, and he's very good at keeping targets in place, and Necrophos actually needs a lot of mobility.
There's a lot of merit to running an Io together with him, but I just... maybe. We'll have to see that. At least the overcharge part for Necrophos is mainly for the defensive part. The 20% damage reduction is what's really beneficial. We've got some Na'Vi fans in the crowd, I think.
Okay, introducing the dire side. We have Team Secret. We have Big Daddy No Tail on the Wisp, Puppy on the Mirana, Simba, Charlie, aka Fly, on the Timbersaw, Kuro on the Necrophos, starting out with that GG Ring of Protection, and S4 on the Classic Puck.
And for Na'Vi, they're running out as a group of 5 right now, looking for some aggression. It's going to be FNG leading the charge on this Ogre with boots first. Then we've got Dendi on OD. That's been a while since I've seen that. What is that helm he's got on? That looks weird. Hovost will be playing as the Slark. We've got Funnick on the Tidehunter, and finally Vanscore on the Bane. One of Vanscore's... I feel like Vanscore is one of those clutch players who's extremely good at playing with Nightmare and Disruption. So a very nice player to have that on. Oh, the Orb from S4 will be able to jaunt here. Fire Blast. Putting a little bit of pressure, but no follow-up.
I think they can really limit Wisp's farm, though, if Ogre just runs around in the jungle, because like Wisp Mirana can't really kill that much on their own, and Ogre can always keep tabs on Mirana to keep his mid safe, and just to stack constant pulling from the Wisp that Necrophos and Timbersaw can take out later.
Well, looks like the lanes will be shaping up now. I think OD in this game, especially now that Necrophos is picked, it kind of doesn't matter what lane they put against OD. I think he's going to do really well. Even the Io Necrophos, which it looks like might be the case, or maybe Na'Vi trying this. I don't think they really want to do this, and they will be backing off here. Do get a Nightmare off, but Secret are chasing here with... they're chasing with a Heartstopper or Necrophos and a Tethered Io. Dare I say, one of the worst level 1 combos in the game. They have like nothing to bring to the table here.
Dude, the Ring of Protection,
they're still
man.
Pulling them away. It's pretty hilarious. Anyway, it's going to be the Mirana of Puppy joining them. So an aggressive trial in here. I like this idea a lot out of Team Secret, because that's one thing Na'Vi's lineup might be the best at early on. Their supports, both Bane and the Ogre, not the best of synergy between them and not the strongest in lane against this kind of lane. And the triple range of Secret is going to hold down Host really, really well.
But at the same time, isn't mid going to be terrible for Fly there?
Yeah, that's the trade-off.
That's a big trade-off, I feel.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive, but if you manage to beat a dual or silent, or well, maybe not. Kuroki's taking so much damage here. He's actually probably going to be brought down here. One more clobbing swing. No, he gets hit by the tether. Minus attack speed here out of Big Daddy. Barely living through that. If that purge doesn't come through, I think that's the first blood.
But at the same time, what does this lane really offer? They weren't even close to getting a return kill. They almost gave him first blood, and they're not really securing that much farm for Necrophos. So all in all, this tri-lane in Secret is, again, dubious.
And Secret chose to go for that lane ward, which means that the pull is available constantly for Na'Vi should they want to do this. But right now they're trying to just be a little bit aggressive on the lane, forcing away Team Secret's lane so Close can get some much needed farm here in the beginning and secure him his levels as well, not getting harassed off the lane. So yeah, all in all, this is a very odd lane. I think it's... Again, it's a weird pick from Secret. We've seen it all 3 games so far in this tournament. I feel like they end up with some silly lanes, and we'll see if they can manage to pull out a win once again with it.
They'll be out
Bottom right.
man's land. Will not be able to
for FNG.
I mean, they could have just safe laned the Wisp and tried to play a little bit greedy, but at the same time, Na'Vi would have been able to play greedy. But I would say like Secret's lineup is worse at levels 1 through 6. So it would be a win for them if it's just trading farm for farm.
And especially when they're running this aggressive trial lane, it's effectively costing them both side lanes, or sorry, mid and top lane as well. S4 currently being beaten by Funnick in that lane. It's not easy playing a puck against the Tide. He has traded a lot of auto attacks against Funnick though, so effectively a little bit of a trade-off CS for regen, where should S4 gain a little bit of a grip here, probably have to use a salve now as well, as Funnick is really bullying him away, but S4 with a little bit of more damage out in Funnick will probably force Funnick to either buy Tranquils or send up additional regen or a bottle.
At the same time, though, looks like Fly's doing pretty well in mid. I think 9-1 compared to 14 and 6 for OD is actually pretty good.
That's pretty admirable.
Yes.
Now he doesn't have mana for Whirling Death anymore, though, so this is when it starts getting hard. Dendi has 91 damage, Fly sitting on 57, doesn't have mana for 1 Whirling Death right now. And I think he should be using them all the time just to secure CS when he can, because he can't rely on having that mana. And that's another thing, when he's out of mana in the mid lane the whole time, Timbersaw is one of those heroes who has an escape mechanism sometimes if he gets ganked through that chain, but first of all, he hasn't skilled it, and secondly, he wouldn't have mana for it half the time. So there is potential if Na'Vi wants to roam, but I think at this point, you just focus 100% on the bot lane.
I mean, Kiro's just outplaying really, really far, too. And
now he's going to get Nightmare. Secret is thinking, never mind, Na'Vi are thinking about it, but no, they aren't, or maybe they are. Kuro is taking a lot of damage here. They might be able to bring him down, but the magic stick usage here, keeping him alive still. He's going to get a double. Turns it around right at the end here with a beautiful Death Pulse. Getting that bonus healing as well from the tether. That magic stick right there just gave them 3 kills instead of a death.
Yeah. Wisp too, that double heal and then the bottle on top of that. That was ridiculous. I thought he was just on the verge of about to die. He's at like 50, then immediately heals up to 350. Ridiculous. I mean, the synergy is certainly there. Yeah.
But the enemy needs to run at you and try stuff like that. But if they bait you to do that and you make the turnaround play, that was absolutely huge. Kuro coming out very big there. And that's essentially the end of the lane. If you're playing a tri versus tri lane and you get 3 heroes killed, you've lost the lane. And Na'Vi making the right call. They're moving FNG. He doesn't want to be down there anymore. They would just keep running into Secret and getting killed or getting inferior farm. So he'll try to focus on something else. They're currently bullying away the Timbersaw here in the mid lane. And, well, he's hanging around for now. Then going for an Astral here. He doesn't have any mana on the Timbersaw. He's going to be in trouble here. 40 mana available only. He's going to get ignited as well. Fly trying to run away here, but Io will be coming in here for the tether. I think it's going to be too little too late, or maybe not. Will survive here. One more hit to go from Dendi, but I think he got blocked a little bit there, so barely living. Just looks like all the small things are going Secret's way so far.
2 points in reactive armor certainly paying off for him. And yeah, Puck's getting even farm with Funnick right now, so making up for that early discrepancy. And all in all, what does Secret aim to do? Get a mech perhaps on Kuro and just try and make him Superman? Like, I still don't really see what their game plan is, because they don't really have fantastic gank until Puck gets a Blink Dagger. Timbersaw is going to be relatively under farm, like Muno.
Top lane Funnick going in on S4 using the Ravage here. He's going to need to use the Anchor Smash as well. Won't reach it. And now the turnaround is there from S4. It's going to go the other way instead. Secret, another kill. 4-0 here, and that was a solo kill, which is huge. That gives S4 this lane on a platter right now. Was looking fairly even. Funnick thought he had it, but a little bit too early on the Ravage. Didn't have the cooldown on Anchor Smash ready just yet, and S4 turns it around there. On mid lane as well. If Fly is going to get that kill, that's a disaster for Na'Vi. This cannot possibly happen after they've zoned him out. It's a lane that Dendi should be winning, and Fly comes back and takes a solo kill here. Secret are just running them over. Now in the bottom rune as well. This is a totally different team showing up today than we saw yesterday for Secret. For the first time, they're winning the laning stage, and they're doing it very convincingly with what seems to be inferior lanes, in my opinion, or just at least some very odd ones. They're pulling out the big plays. Very deep dive from Kuro. He doesn't have any backup right now. He is really far in. No-Tail's going to come in, though, here. Arrow coming in as well. It's going to connect on FNG. Kuro is still standing strong here. No-Tail almost dying, but will use the max range of the tether to get away. It's an 8-0. Now they're going to go on ban score. What an absolute landslide this is turning into. Secret 9-0.
It's very smart play from No-Tail too. Every time that Slark goes on him, he tethers into melee range, runs in, tanks the Dark's pack, and then tanks the Death Pulse too. And then immediately Kuro's at full health too. So
I think Na'Vi are making a big mistake going on the Necrophos. That's the hero in the lane they can't kill.
Well, he's like up in front, right next to their tower. They can't.
Well, yeah, sure. In that situation, he was obviously the target, because there was no other target. But earlier on in the laning stage, I think it's the Io you would have wanted to initiate on originally if you get the position. But he sits back. Yeah,
it's like
just
1,000
tricky.
back.
This is a very special lane for Team Secret, where I think Na'Vi would like to do something else, but maybe it's easier said than done.
Well, I did not expect Secret to win the laning phase this convincingly.
Me either.
They're still getting out-farmed a little bit in the solo lane in terms of just pure CS, but momentum completely Secret's way. Na'Vi just, I mean, they picked lane dominators too. Tidehunter rarely loses lane in a one-on-one situation, and OD too, one of the most notorious lane dominators.
And they might even be claiming the bottom tier 1 here. Kuro as well as No-Tail are hanging out here. Scouting with the spirits to make sure there's no deny attempt, but Kuro still messes up the last hit. The first mistake of Secret in the whole game, might I say. Not getting that last hit. I think they're still okay with it, okay? Shortest pause in the history of Dota 2. Coming in from Funnick. Puppy's gonna get scouted out here by Wost. Oh, he's actually out of mana for Leap. After using that arrow, turns out to be a pretty, or never mind, he already used it. Forget about that, but the turnaround is still there. Secret reinforcing once again, getting 11 for nil here. Immediately coming in with all the gathered forces here. S4 has used the Dream Call, so they'll not be able to use that on the Ogre, but they're going to use the Relocate to catch up here. Will there be another orb? Yes, there will. It's going to be dodged here by FNG, but S4 still getting in for beautiful silence. Now Dendi might be in trouble as well. Wants to get the Astral off, will get it on his 4, but there's no kill potential anymore. They've lost a lot of their heroes. S4 will easily back out, and wow, Secret are just... I don't know, did they get some good sleep? Or was the sleep bad last night, or... This is just world class right now.
They came to play. Slark is half of Wisp's net worth, which is really pathetic for Slark, unfortunately. And as you said, once they got that triple kill, it was pretty much lane over.
I think you're starting to sell me the idea that you just don't give Secret IO. If they can play this, if they play this kind of funky lane and they dominate with that,
it's
then
just, you think you're prepared for it. It's like, oh, okay, it's just gonna be like a Wisp PA mid, you just constantly astral him and then you'll be okay. But they always do some weird stuff that you just can't prepare for. Like, you can't see this coming if you're Na'Vi, and it's an offensive tri-lane too. So there's no way they could have seen this coming, and they thought that they could kill Kuro in lane confidently, and it completely backfires on them, and now they're just recovering from this abysmally poor laning phase.
Yeah, well, what's the recovery though? What's the game plan now? They're going to be starting to lose a couple of towers now. I think top lane.
Tidehunter with Blink, I think, is probably their best.
Yeah, he got a Ring of Health though. He's really far away from that build-up.
That's cool. Maybe a pipe, I suppose. Secret doesn't actually have that much physical damage.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Was that Secret are built heavily around magic damage, negative regeneration, and pure damage here. So a pipe would be very useful. He still needs to get to that point though. Now they're going to try in the bottom lane again. I've seen this go wrong one too many times for Na'Vi. Is it going to be different this time though? They've isolated Kuro. They're not going on though. They're waiting for the tether to use the Ravage. Beautiful timing. But Kuro is still keeping No-Tail alive. Finally he'll die. Reaper's Scythe, not enough to kill Vanscore, but that attack, no, it also won't be. The buyback comes in from No-Tail. Now the reinforcements flying in. Secret's there with both Simba and Big Daddy coming back in once again. Will live 4 for 1. They used a Ravage, and they got ravaged.
So they changed their game plan. They're like, okay, we'll just completely ignore the Necrophos, go for the Wisp, and they just got punished so darn hard for it.
I don't know what you do at this point. It's just that after that kind of laning stage, a comeback is very hard to even pull off, but I think they need more than that. I think Dendi's ultimate is a tool they need to start using as well. They need the extra damage to burst down the IO fast. In that situation, once again, No-Tail stayed alive so damn long that there was more than enough time for the reinforcements to come in and help him out. And the kills just need to happen fast. They chased them for like 10 seconds, which allowed Simba to TP in and get in position. And even after that, they barely got the kill.
You see Fly, Astral in the mid lane, followed up by a Fire Blast.
Oh, there it is! Drops the hammer, but it's not enough. And now S4 is in over the top, getting an easy kill here. Vanscore currently only level 4, won't really be able to do much apart from brain set, but it is enough in this case. Nice shotgun coming in from Simba. He's going to have to jump out as well. Vost is on the top of Kuro, but he's dropping dangerous alone. Now Funnick got caught by an arrow as well. Puppy landing it far away here, and that's going to be an extra kill for Na'Vi, or sorry, for Secret by the looks of it, unless he dodges the Chakram. But it's not enough here. Kraken Shell did block quite a bit of damage there, but Puppy still gets the last hit. Arrow, seeking again, won't connect on Vost, and he is getting out, but wow.
Generally, you view Necrophos as very fragile. Kiro's just not scared of anything. We even saw it when he was like level 3. He's like, whatever, I'm going to stand in the middle of the creep wave and just start right-clicking people. He's just unafraid. He has items to back it up now, but even earlier, it was just invincible.
Yeah, and what do you do once the IO gets the mech here, which is 500 gold away? It's usually in many games you see the Necrophos getting it. But now that Io has got so good farm, they can actually put it on No-Tail, and Kuro can aim for a very fast Bloodstone. As a matter of fact, he has it in about 1,000 gold here, which could be about 15 minutes Bloodstone with treads. They're looking for Host. He does have his ultimate ready. Might have to expend it here. He's taking a lot of damage. Wow, what a cast range! That looked like 1,000 on that Reaper side.
Yeah, well played with the Wisp Balls from Big Daddy, getting the vision for him too.
I think he is proving that he is probably undoubtedly the best IO player in the world right now.
Yeah, I think he's
phenomenal play.
Simply ban it. This is absolutely ridiculous, and it's getting way out of control. Well, normally for Na'Vi, you'd be like, okay, well, we have a farm Slark, we'll just blink in, initiate on the Wisp, and maybe blink in with a Ravage, but they just don't have the farm to go for that sort of play.
Come on, he's treads.
He has treads.
This ain't looking good for Na'Vi. Looking like they're cruising towards a three-way tie. They're going to try again, though, in towards No-Tail. He's holding onto the relocate. Not going to use it at all, as a matter of fact. They're going to down a will they. Arrow coming in. Good Ravage. Hit 3. But Kuro is standing strong here. We'll be able to bring down at least one of them here. In again comes the Chakram from Timbersaw. Easy kill. Mirana, as well as the Puck, are going to chase down Slark at the back end of the fight. And now Nightmare needs to come out here from the Bane if he wants any chance of escaping. But really quickly taken off by Kuro. And another Whirling Death from Simba comes through. 3-2-2 is the kill score. We did it, guys. This was what Secret were aiming for the whole time, and they made it. If Na'Vi called GG now, that would be like the perfect end to the game right there.
Just kill the throne?
Just run past all the heroes, keep healing, and go for the buildings.
Now they're approaching fights with some sense. They're like sleeping Kuro, aiming for the Wisp, but I mean, it's too little too late, I'd say. They have to expend so many resources to kill a supposedly very fragile Wisp, and it's just sad.
And I think they nightmared Kuro there, and then they broke it with the Ravage, so he even started getting death pulses off again. They need to do it the other way around, unless... Was it that way? Did they Ravage first and then Nightmare him?
I think they Nightmared into Ravage.
Yeah, and that just doesn't work. They have to control Kuro completely. But it's very difficult for them to do when their supports are... They're still level 5 in a 15-minute game, and... Well, the Fiend Script is certainly going to make a difference, but probably not the biggest difference in the world at this point. I mean, come on. This is just absolutely ridiculous. 14-minute Bloodstone with treads. You've got an Io with mech. What happens if Io is tethered to Kuro and he uses Bloodstone? Does he come back to life because he heals like out of control on the Io with the burst?
Maybe so.
Well, I don't think there's any chance of Kuro dying anymore, to be honest. So this Bloodstone will probably keep all its charges and add a couple of more to itself. And
well, Dendi does have his Midas and is accruing some sort of farm. He is number 4 in net worth and working on that 4 staff. Is the damage going to be enough? Probably not at this point to kill Necrophos, but
it's going to banish here.
Maybe Mirana supports.
If they get a multicast here, they might be able to pull it off, but no, they don't. There's the turnaround from this for instant double coil silence and orb. And now it's going to come back to bite Na'Vi in the back here. They're going to lose 2 heroes immediately. Might pursue onto Vanscore as well. Timbersaw still has decent mana to pursue now. Will be able to get one more Chakram, will not connect though. So they end up getting 2 only. Okay, Secret's deep here. There's reinforcements from the bottom. The Ravage is going to be way too late. They're just getting torn apart. They might bring down No-Tail. No, they won't. They're still keeping on healing him. One more attack would do it, but still staying alive. And another 4-0 fight for Team Secret.
This overcharge, man. Overcharge MVP.
It's insane to watch this. This is... I mean, I know No-Tail is a fantastic Wisp player, and I've seen a lot of great performances from him, but for me, this is a really standout performance because of the way they're using the synergy between the heroes. It's more straightforward when you're running an IO Tiny or an IO Chaos Knight or an IO PA, right? But this is a really creative one that I don't think have we ever seen it before? I'm not sure.
I have not.
And they're really playing very, very well on the regen here. It's very beautiful to watch. It's a very mechanical combination here that they're showcasing. Arrow will search out another connection. He's still dropping low. Kuro doesn't care. They're even going to banish him while he gets multicast. They don't want to deal with it. Now he has a cloak too. Nightmare taken off immediately here by Puppy. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of that Nightmare. Will be healed up again. And Kuro's just a fountain now. With a 10 charge Bloodstone, he can keep healing them. That's another initiation. Triple coil silence. Orb is there. Oh my god, that's gotta be GG, not me. How long do you want to be pummeled for? before you realize this game is out of control. There we go.
Well,
30-3.
if we ever want a quick game, it should just be you and me casting, because we on one side didn't want it.
Well, like, I feel like this one had a little more depth than the one we cast yesterday as far as from a strategic point of view. That was a really cool showcasing of a combination here, and just the overall decision making from Secret was really
at the same time, it could have gotten out of hand real quickly. Let's say they misplay that tri-lane and they instead give up 3 kills because they underestimate the tankiness of Necrophos. Slark would just be out of control. They didn't really have the spells to deal with them, and they couldn't have shut down